Hello and welcome to Coach's Corner. This is May's episode, and in this episode, I'm joined by Adam Kent. How are you doing, Adam? You alright, mate?
I'm very good, thank you.
So Adam is the PT manager, as a master trainer and a PT manager at Virgin Active in Clapham Common, and he's on today to help me with May's episode of Coach's Corner, where we're going to discuss what's happening in the fitness industry, and then today's topic, which is generating leads when the gym is quiet and the best way to go about that.
Cool.
So Adam, welcome to Coach's Corner.
Thanks for having me.
So just a quick heads up what this is all about, which I know you know it's about, but a quick heads up. So the point of this is that I'll get PTs to follow, they jump on, it's just a place that PTs can go, and we just give I give an update of what's coming on in the industry this month, what's coming up, and then I'll try to give some coaching. So you're going to help me with the coaching part today.
Awesome.
So what's been going on? 15th of April, gyms opened. It's been 4 weeks that have just flew by. I can't believe we're now back end of May. And then on the 17th of May, Group X restarted, which was quite a big deal. So we're recording this on Friday 21st. So gyms have been fully open 5 weeks now, and Group X has been up and running for a week.
Yeah.
So this episode I was going to do it at the beginning of the month, but because of COVID, I wanted to make sure that the gyms did open and Group X did return mid-May.
Yeah.
Just in case things got delayed, I thought I'd just throw the podcast out. But everything's on track, right? Everything seems to be going the right way. Yeah, and Boris is super keen to get things up and running. So before I talk about where I've been in my gyms, how's Virgin been? How's your club been? Because you're in a residential area, right?
Yeah, we've been thriving. It's really good to see. When we opened back up, we, again, like I think most people weren't too sure what the reception will be. Some people were thinking that people are going to be beating down the door. Some people were thinking that you're going to have a redistribution of where people were going, because you can imagine that a lot of people have been sort of starting new routines in lockdown where they would be sort of embracing more online, sort of do-it-yourself fitness, taking up more sort of outdoor activities like running, and you were kind of probably a bit more in the middle if you were on either fence about what was happening with people coming back in. So it wasn't the huge footfall that I think most people were hoping for. But it wasn't like the ghost towns that some of the naysayers were saying it would be as well. So it was good enough to actually start building the businesses back up. Now with the Group X coming back on, we've seen a huge increase in footfall throughout the gyms. Ourselves as a club, we are actually leading within our region. We're at the top of terms of new clients generated. And it's been fantastic to see, actually, because we've got PTs old and new thriving. So it's not just a case of experiences outweighing the new guys that are coming in. Everyone's working their asses off to obviously make sure their business are optimal. And you just seem like I feel like a little bit more of a willingness from new members to partake in one-to-one coaching. I feel that there could be a few factors. One, obviously, most people have probably not had a large amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? Probably it's like social interaction, one-to-one with people. So I feel people are maybe craving that a little bit.
And they've been making up as they go along, right? They haven't been coached. Some people jumped on a few Zoom classes, Instagram classes and that, but most people just doing their own thing or didn't train and going back to the gym. This is their chance to get coached again and get like structure and direction in their training.
Definitely.
And that's what I think everyone's a lot of people are now looking for, which they've really missed. They probably took for granted what they had evolved within the gym before, right?
Definitely. I do feel that people have been craving that little bit more structure and routine, and I feel that I know that we both discussed this as well, that especially towards the end of lockdown 3, I feel that majority of people kind of lost that oomph in their routine. I know I did. And and most people I'm sitting down and doing any kind of consultation with are kind of saying something quite similar. So it's kind of what I like to see is that people are sort of coming back and just trying new things, being quite honest to and being open to new opportunities.
Yeah, that's great, and it's good to see that your team's doing well, which we'll talk about in a bit. So, I'm from like the Gymbox self-employed world, you're in the Virgin employed world, but we've got a similar role where, we both do PT. We're both very much still deliver PT. My gym, as you know, is still closed at the minute. So where I'm based in the city, that's still closed at the moment. So while that's deciding what happens with that gym, I've still been PT in my garden. If you don't follow my PT page, you'll see that I've got a gym in my garden. So I'm still PTing from there, which is going great. And then I've been going into the city to do my teaching, because I run the academy at Gymbox. I've been mentoring and teaching the new PTs that are joining Gymbox. Your role's similar in the sense of you still do PT as like your main job as a master trainer, but then alongside you mentor, and that's kind of the new PT manager role at Virgin. It's more of a mentoring, coaching role? It's
one of the things that we at Virgin we refer to like PT managers more like a what we call a head coach. So I think the idea behind that is trying to come away from the idea of managing people, which you do, you know what I mean. But it's more the idea of coaching PTs. So trying to take someone like myself who's a bit long in the tooth in the industry, who's got wealth of experience, and being able to practically deliver things like workshops. And I always think it's just being like a senior figure, and just being able to go, hey, this is what works, this is what doesn't work, and sort of guiding people and helping them develop their own business. And I would say almost very similar, but you do yours on a very much larger scale.
Yeah, but it's still mentoring PTs is. But what I'm trying to say is that we're still doing the job, right? We're still very much doing PT. So how's your client base? Are you back up to like the number you're trying to hit?
I've been picking them up, and I think for myself, I've hit about 6 new clients this month, so more than once a week, which is what you're kind of always aiming for. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been easier than it has in the past, and you're kind of thinking like that this is almost like almost a delay from the year, because when normally you come back and everyone's raving about January, and as a PT that January actually is still a little bit quiet, where people are coming into the gym, but no one's really sort of getting on board and got into a routine. And it's normally like that February, March,
March, September, October, my busiest months, definitely.
That's it. So it seems like there has been that delay now. So like we come back in April, it's all right. So picked up some new clients, picked up like 3 or 4, and that was because we came back, I think I want to say
15th.
That was it, yeah. So we come back like middle 12th
of April, Monday 12th.
Yeah, we came back a little bit middle of the month, and so it's like that little delay, building the business up, getting momentum. But you felt that you were carrying that momentum really well into May. So I'm hoping, I think most PTs are as well, that June is going to be our March essentially.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it will explode, hopefully. But saying that, as we know from trends from being in the industry for years, that tends to be quieter like over the summer months, because everyone's generally going away on holiday and all that jazz. So it'll be really interesting to see. It's obviously unprecedented.
You brought 2 good things up there. That's actually which nicely leads us on to the topic of today, and that's. And I'm glad you've been talking about it quite positively, because the subject today is how to build in when the gym's quiet. So I know your gym's membership's flying up. I know Clapham's doing quite well, residential area, people wanting to get back, multi-club members, that the city clubs are still closed in Virgin, so they're now going to Clapham because they live around that area. So I know Clapham's doing okay on membership, but still, and compared to some of the city clubs that are a bit quiet. But I just wanted to today's subject is how to build in a quieter time, especially for the city people, and just kind of put a positive spin on it and what to look for, because you're coaching PTs, they're going to be coming to you with these problems, I guarantee it. I know you've got a few new starters as well, and they're probably going to look at you and say at one point, if they haven't already, Adam, there's no one in the gym. But I always see that as personally like a bit of a, not an excuse, but like a mindset to get in.
Yeah, it's a bit of the old blame game, isn't it? It's like when things aren't going well, who do you blame?
And do you need a gym heaving full of people, or do you just need 12 clients in total?
Yeah.
Do you need, like, I always put this number on 12, because 12, by the time they do 1, 2, 3 a week, you're doing 20, 25 sessions, right?
Yeah.
So if you get a client base of 12 clients, 12 people you need to find that like you, like your methodology and your way of training, and like your product and you relate to. If you can find 12 of those in the gym, you can build a business, right? So you don't actually need a ram-packed gym to grow.
I feel 12 is a good number, because it kind of almost sets your weekly schedule as well, where you're going to be, where your peaks are going to be, like, because you're going to shift people in and out and try and make it like a more viable diary. But you're going to be like, right, okay, you've got your block here on Monday morning, you've got your block here on Wednesday evening, and it's going to start, sort of filtering out like that a bit.
Okay, so a PT's gone back to the gym. They used to do 20 sessions a week. Yep. They've gone back. They now got 4 clients. They're doing 7 sessions.
Right. Okay.
What's your advice to them? What do you tell them to do?
First of all, I've been there. I just before lockdown, I was. I think I was on about 20 sessions a week, which is kind of like standard for my level as a master trainer.
Yeah.
And when I came back after lockdown 1, I'd lost so many clients. I think I was doing like maybe 6, 7 a week, and I was gutted, and I was just like, right, and there was no one else to blame, you know what I mean? Because it was like, well, people have left for legitimate reasons. I've lost my job. I've moved house. You know what I mean? I'm no longer in the area. And you kind of have this rubble of a business that you're coming back to, and you're like, right, how, what's the mindset? How do I get through this? And what really didn't help was obviously then when you start building a bit of momentum, that another lockdown happened, and then another lockdown happened, and then so how do you come back from that? And how do you build back your business? And it's just almost imagining that you're starting from scratch, and it's just like, don't worry what you've got so far, because even that can disappear. And that was the kind of the advice that I was giving to some people. That some people were like, well, I've come back and I've got about 10 clients, and you're like, right, okay, so ignore them. You know what I mean? Because you have no idea. You have no idea what they're going to be doing for the next month or two. They might decide that, I'm back only because I'm obligated to be, because I've paid for these sessions. But they might not be as financially secure as you think they are, and they might just turn around towards the end of the month. It's like, by the way, mate, I'm not renewing. And that sting as well. It's just like, okay, I've suddenly I've have X amount of capital that should be coming in by the end of the month, and then suddenly you've had a drop of, like, even just 2 clients can make such a dent in how that carries over.
Especially if they're doing those 2 a week or 3 a week.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, where's my business gone?
I think again, when we were talking about that, because I think even the year beforehand I'd had something else happen where I had to think about like 5 or 6 clients in the space of a month, and they were all like on like 2 a week. They all like literally almost the day after one another were just like, oh, I'm really sorry, mate, I'm going to be moving, or I'm going to have to stop. And I think I called you, and I think that was like when the 4th person dropped off, and I was like, mate, this is a bit of a bad week. And then like 2 more dropped off, and I was just like, oh my god, like my like I've lost literally like 70% of my business in the space of a week, and it wasn't again like anything I'd done wrong. It wasn't like these people were unhappy. There was just a change in circumstance. And
they was all moving at the same time. They
left it just all came at once, and when it rains, it pours.
And I think, mate, any PT, if someone's been doing PT more, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years plus, this has definitely happened. Yeah. And if they listen to us, they'll probably laugh, because it's just like you say, it's a mindset. You need to restart. You need to have that start again mentality.
And sometimes I think it's you can think to yourself, I've taken my eye off the ball a little bit, like, I've not been bringing in new business, but when you're doing those, like when you're set, you're not really on the prowl, or you're not hungry for clients, because you're like, well, you're planning. You're like, well, this person I know is going to be leaving my business at the end of the month, and I can plan for replacing that person. So right, well, if I've got 20 clients and one's leaving, I probably maybe only need like one or two more. So I'm only going to be like, I hope, you're never going to try and turn down business. But obviously, you're trying. There's only so many hours in the day that you can fit people in.
Yeah, so there's only so many 6 p.m. slots. Only so many 5 p.m. slots. Yeah.
And for most people, especially working up in the city, working up in the city, you're catering to most people's working hours. So you're either doing before 9 o'clock, after 5, and if you're really lucky, you're getting lots of lunchtime clients and things like that filter in between that. So there's only so many hours that you can do a day. Also, as well, you've got to look after yourself. You've got to eat, you've got to train. You've got to do all these bits and pieces.
You've got to live the product you're trying to promote.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
this healthy, balanced lifestyle.
Well, the balance is the word. So it's one of the crazy things that you find with people where they're really successful PTs are the ones that can manage all that, and you kind of find that the PTs that are really struggling are the ones that towards the end of the week will be complaining that they've not trained all week because they've been delivering sessions. But anyway, we're kind of getting a bit sidetracked there. So I do find that with the mindset of like, it's just treating it like it's a new business. It's like, look, okay, something's happened, something's gone wrong. I need to rebuild. What is it that you did when you started off as a PT? I always ask that question when someone's having that sort of trouble. It's like, well, what did you do to get yourself here in the first place? How did you get to 20 clients? And it's breaking it down, making it more manageable, making efficient use of your time, because you can go in and you can spend 40 hours in the gym, but what do you do with that 40 hours in the gym is really, really important. So
mate, I felt that load. So when I moved from Fitness First to Gymbox, I went from, I was at Fitness First nearly 4 years. So once you've been in the gym that long, you know all the members, you're nodding, you're saying hello, people know you are, and you feel like you own the gym. It's quite easy to reach out
you're
and
the
try
big
a new
fish.
client. And all that good stuff. As soon as I moved to Gymbox, I was like, whoa, everything's changed. And I had to
There's all these good looking people that are in better shape than I am.
And I was like, I need to rejig my processes, and that was moving gyms, and I just had to rejig my process, take a moment and be like, what's the plan? Have a plan. You can't just expect to walk around the gym and then spend 40 hours in the gym in a week and expect to grow your business without a plan. So I had to rejig that, move things around, and then by the end of that first 3-month period, and I always say, if you're starting again, give yourself that 3-month period. I was up to exactly where I needed to be. That was like 22, 23 sessions a week. I was straight up to where I wanted to be. But there was a moment of madness where I was like, whoa, new gym, floor walking's different, nobody knows me, my picture's not on the wall. I was like, how am I going to do this? And it's just different. But I had to just reset, and then once I kind of went for that mindset of, like, Dale, you just need to go talk to 3 people a day. And then
you got to humble yourself a little bit like that.
I'm a numbers guy, and we're in a people job, but we're also in a numbers job. There's some things where you need to be able to measure how much work you're doing. And for me, one of the ways I go about that is just go, right, I am not leaving this gym until I get 3 names on my lead list. If you don't have a lead list, you bloody need one. If you don't want my courses, you definitely have one already. You just need to make sure you're filling it in. But I'm someone like, I'm not leaving that front door until I've got 3 names. If I get that at 5 o'clock, I'll get my 3 names and then I can go. If I don't get it if I don't get those 3 names by 5 o'clock, I'm staying to 8, 9 o'clock until I get them. And that's literally how I did it. I was like, right, that's this peak time, 5 to 8. The second I get 3 names on my lead list, then I can go. If you have if you set yourself targets like that, that's something you can measure. And then once you get 3 names, you can book them in. Maybe 2 of those come in for a taster, consultation, and then depending on your conversion ratios, on average, 1 to 3 is a good target. 1 to 2 is like when you're starting to nail it and you're getting better quality leads.
I was just about to say this about I think the quality has to be there, because, like, say when you do interactions with people where you have an activity and you're getting names and numbers, one of the things that I find a bit frustrating when I talk to other trainers and PTs is like, what is the actual quality of that lead that you just picked up? So if you're having someone that's just like walking through the gates, going into the gym, and you're like, hey mate, can I get your name and number? It's like, okay, cool, awesome, like you got a name and number, but you've got no idea who this person is, like why they might need you. So having a little bit more interaction with someone is really important. So sometimes maybe not being at the gates, but being on the gym floor, walking around, offering service. Building up a good presence is always really important. So people obviously need to see that you work there. So, making sure you look clean cut, in uniform, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And when you're going around the gym, you don't have to hard sell PT. It's never about that. It's never going to people like, hey, you need to have 8 sessions with me. Like, you really need to find like a little bit of a more nuance in the approach. But I'd always think that if you're going up and approaching people and you're saying like, hey, did you know that you're entitled to a free session, like a complimentary session? Most members would be like, oh, I didn't know that when I joined up. You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Adam, we're, because we've run out of time with this podcast, we'll bring you back another week, another month, because this is a monthly one, and we'll do a floor walking 101.
Fantastic.
Because there's a few ways we can go on this chat, and as part of the courses I teach, and of course this is what you have to do when you mentor people, is we go into floor walking in quite a lot of detail. So we'll actually do that as one spin-off episode, because I think that'd be really worth people listening to, seeing both our versions, because I think with something like floor walking that's so hard, and it's something you have to master. If you can just get one tip from either of us and then go apply it, that could be what you need. So we'll kind of just, because I think we covered quite a lot already with, basically, at the moment, there are people in the gym, and I don't know what your sales team's like, but I know some of the sales teams in some of the city gyms with Gym Box,
I think that my sales team are rubbing their hands at the moment.
I know some of the gyms are joining 100, 200 people a month. There's a couple Gym Box clubs hit 300 sales in May already. It's insane.
Yeah, my lot, they had a target for April, May combined. They had a bit of a stretch, and they hit that in April. That's how busy they were.
Nice.
So they hit their 2-month budget in 1 month.
So, a gym gets 200 new members, and you need 12 clients to grow your business. It's there.
Yeah.
But I think what people can literally take away from this episode is switch onto the mindset of starting again. Do whatever you did when you first start, and if this is your first job, then you need to listen to our floor walking episode coming up in a few weeks' time. But if this is your first job, you're going into the mindset of you don't need a packed gym, you just need to find people. You need to find 12 of your ideal client, and they'll be in the gym somewhere. If the sales are joining 200 people a month, they'll be there somewhere.
If I was to give someone just a big tidbit of advice, especially if you are thinking the gym is quite quiet at the moment, is that if you yourself were going into the gym and you needed help, where would you go and what would you do, and who would you want to see help? Be helping people. So obviously you've got to be in the gym to do that if you're a trainer. You've got to make sure you look approachable as well. So if you're on the floor, don't have things like your phone out. You can look busy, but you need to be able to look like, oh, that guy looks like I can go and talk to him. You know what I mean? And when someone does talk to you, it's always ask, is there anything else I can do for you? And lead into some sort of training, because it's always good if someone comes in and says, hey, can you help me in my deadlift, or can you help me, what's this piece of equipment I'm not too sure about, and you go, oh, by the way, mate, this is how you switch it on, this is how you do it, and then you turn around and you walk off. You've kind of closed the door straight away on that, whereas you go, hey, this is how you use this piece of equipment, this is how you do, how you work this machine. Obviously you're not familiar with the setup. Why don't I book you in for an induction, and I can show you how to use all the other pieces of equipment. Let me get your name and number, and we'll sort that out. And suddenly you've opened up the door to an opportunity. You know what I mean?
And people are people, mate. You just need to talk to them sometimes.
Yeah.
And if they got headphones in, that's fine. Sometimes you just need to talk to them, and and they'll have a conversation with you back if you have the right approach. But we'll cover that next time. So then the other point I wanted to bring up, to take from that first bit is just mindset. Have the mindset you're going to start again. Look for 12 people that like, and look for 12 new clients.
Yeah.
And just think about what your conversion ratios are and how many quality leads you're going to need to get to find per day to then to hit that.
I think when people talk about ratios and things like that, you know, and we're talking about the quality of the leads and whatnot, but you can think to yourself, well, if I get 100 names and then I book in like half of those people for 50 people in for a taster, and then 25 of those people actually do turn up, you know, you've got a fairly busy week, you know what I mean? It's like, well, that's 25 people booked in for tasters. But then out of all those tasters, I say,
yeah, that's a monster week.
It is a monster week, isn't it? You'd think, oh, Jesus, that'd be great. But, you know, some people might look at that, oh, that's 25 hours I'm giving away for free. But then if if your conversion rate's shocking, like, and we're saying like a 25 to 1, like out of all those 25 people, one person signs up, then you now know that, well, I need to go out and get another 100 names, like book in another 50 people, do another 25, and then I'm going to get that next client. You know what I mean? So you're going to have some monster weeks, but that's what it is.
Yeah, and that's an extreme. That's an extreme ratio, but work it.
But then you could argue then, and okay, well, if you're booking in 25 tasters, you know, you convert one of them. There's something else that's wrong. There's a skill gap. You know what I mean? It's like, right, okay, cool. You need to work on more of your sales technique and your approach, your work ethics there, because you're willing to do 25 hours of tasters. So that's awesome. That's great. But there's something else that needs to be tweaked now, you know what I mean?
If you're doing 25 tasters, you need to be getting 10 of them as clients.
Yeah. That would be like, how many tasters do you have? How many new clients do you get? Sorry, mate. We're gonna have a sit down about this.
You're killing the gym if you turn down that many tasters. So, okay. You said something about holidays and you're unsure where the gym will go. So that's a good point, actually, because, you know, this red, green, amber travel list, you know, I'm quite happy that's in at the moment.
Yeah.
So people only care about Spain and Greece, right, for holidays. Let's be honest. People only really care about those two. And it doesn't look like you're going to be able to go to Spain or Greece till probably about August time.
No.
August, maybe September. So when that comes in, people will go away.
Yeah.
And I think as a PT, you know, I know when that comes in, I want to go away. So I think a mindset to have right now is aim off that you might be allowed on holiday in August or September.
Yeah.
So between now and then, you've got 8 weeks, right? You've got or June or July to really get your head down, build your business. You know, 8 weeks. If you get a client a week, you'll be done. You know, if you aim off, set yourself a realistic target like that, 1 new client a week, 8 weeks of hard work, go away in the summer, you'll be set up for September. You'll be more than set up for September. I think we've actually got a nice period up in front of us now where we should see a bigger influx in the gym each week of new members. And there should be opportunity there. And with people not being on holiday, the gyms should be more busier. You know, that summer period of June, July, August, where people just go away for stag do's and hen do's and holidays and weddings for those weeks, and some people go away for 2-3 weeks. We're not really going to have that this summer. So this summer will be different to normal trends, I think.
Definitely.
And I think if you're someone that's gone back to the gym, well done. You know, work hard. You've got 8 solid weeks in front of you, and if you put into work, you go through the numbers game, you look for quality leads, and you look at your conversion ratio so you can figure out what you need to find every day, you should be able to grow even in these quiet times. And then if, you know, while we're talking about if you've gone back, if you haven't gone back like me, because I've got gym in my garden, what's your plan for the future? So, I mean, behind closed doors, I've told you my plan. Yeah. But if I openly say I'm going back in September, if my gym opens up before that, I'll start transitioning back. But I know for the winter, I need to be fully set up. So I'm, unlike some PTs, like, if you haven't got a business, you should go back now because there's no PTs in the gyms. You know, especially the city clubs. A lot of people are training at home.
You say that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are still doing Zoom sessions or hesitant about a gym. But if I didn't have the business I have now, I would 100% go back. But it's only because of the teaching positions I'm in and what I have. Yeah, it's quite unique. You know, I'm quite fortunate like that. But you should. And I've got no issue when I go and join the gym in September. It could be ram packed, 20 PTs, full gym. that's fine. I know I'd be able to grow my client base in there, but that's only because I've got a bit more experience and confidence with growing.
One of the things is like maybe not jumping off as quickly, because saying this, I know there's a few trainers up in the city who have started seeking out more residential area clubs, because you're thinking, well, most people are working from home, and I might as well go actually where that is. So you think of, like, say, our location in Clapham.
You recruiting for Clapham?
Sorry?
Is this a little recruiting pun for Clapham?
Oh, no. We're full. We're full. Like, we're actually turning trainers away at the moment. So with that is, again, like, we're in a unique opportunity, because a lot of people in the surrounding areas who would normally go up in the city, because you're living in Clapham because it's so close to the city, but you're having trainers that are kind of going, hey, well, I'm going to go to this residential club, and you're like, cool, awesome, if that works, it works. But these people will eventually be going back to the city at some point. You know what I mean? And then when we've got our very, intimate gym, you know what I mean, the spacing, it's like one of the, I think, the complaints at the moment we get probably the most is the fact that our gym is so busy. Like, and people obviously still have their concerns about,
it's bouncing.
It's
bouncing down at Clapham.
People obviously still have their concerns about social distancing, and obviously adding in new classes, as well as bringing a huge volume of footfall through our doors. But you're going to then have that unique opportunity up in the city where you're like, well, it's a quiet gym, it's dead, there's no one here, you've got a whole place to yourself. It's actually an awesome place to train. You come up and enjoy the facility while it's quiet. It's actually I think, quite a unique selling point. Is that nobody comes to this gym at the moment. You know what I mean?
Mate, there's opportunity definitely right now in residential clubs, in city clubs.
Yeah.
And it's all about just mindset and just getting over that it might be quiet.
Yeah.
The good thing about working for the gym, if you pay rent and do a self-employed model like myself, or if you're an employed model, is that there's armies of salespeople. And above these armies of salespeople are really, really strict regional managers. And above them are CEOs of companies with big whips, and it works its way down. And these salespeople, these armies of salespeople, only work on commission, and it's the best way to be. And they want to get whatever their target is per month. So you as a PT do not have to worry about where the membership base is, because there are people hammering from the top down, making sure those salespeople sell. And that's saying, you don't have to think about where the member base is. You just got to worry about who's in the gym, who you can help, who can you add value to. And if you think like that and take away the stress of what's happening with the gym, the general manager and the sales team are handling the gym. You just got to make sure that whoever's in the gym is in, training well, they're enjoying their experience, and they know that they can come to you to get kind of top end advice and a structured program and some structure in their training.
That's
right?
It.
That's how I see it. Good. Right, Adam, that's been great. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think it would be really beneficial if we were to do a spin-off on this episode on Floor Walking 101, because we started going off that way, because we're both obviously quite passionate about it. We teach it all the time, and we obviously wanted to go that way. So we should definitely do an episode like that, which I'll bring in on the first week of June.
Cool.
The second week of June, because I need to teach on the first week of June.
No worries.
I'm over at Gymbox running the academy that first week, but the second week of June, mate, we'll come back. We'll do the floor walking for everyone that's gone back in June as like a little bit of a refresher.
Cool.
And because with stuff like floor walking, as you agree, you'll probably agree, if you just hear one thing from either of us that you can then go apply, that could be all you need to kind of grow your clients, find your 10 people, 12 people, and build your business. Good. Before I close this down, I'm going to do one quick pun. I don't really use this Coach's Corner as like a selling tool or like to promote too many things, but I do a one-to-one mentorship program outside of, alongside my PT and my teaching at Gymbox. And my mentorship program is at the moment, I relaunched it just out of lockdown, because I spent the whole lockdown filming a digital version of the course, and I built this solid 360 kind of program and approach to building a PT business. And for me, whenever you take on a course, it's easy to do a course, especially a digital course, do it but not actually apply it, half do it, lose interest throughout. So what I've built is my course around the process of immersion, repetition, and implementation. So immersion, I've created a digital how to do and launch online programming to work in a hybrid model. There's so much content out there which you can just work for yourself. Repetition is to make sure we drum it in, so I have one-to-ones, weekly accountability sessions, and a private Facebook group. And then immersion is I give you all the tools, and I'm there, all the tools to run your business, from sales sheets to lead trackers to online programming software, and I'll teach you everything. And if you get stuck, I'm here to kind of fix the issue. So I've relaunched this business course, and there is an outrageous amount of value in it. I've got it on a launch offer that will end on the 1st of June. So if you're watching this and you are looking to really chuck yourself in for the next 8 weeks, then you should jump on this course, because it will never be at this price again. And I'm not trying to be a cheesy car salesman, but it will not be at this price again. This is only to help kind of people reboot themselves and get back into the industry and get fully set up.
So I was going to say, I'd give you a glowing endorsement here that I know a number of actual trainers that have gone on your course, and then from where, and knowing what their business was like beforehand and knowing what their business is like now, a lot of them do cite your business course as what's really upticked their business. So it's, I've seen it firsthand, you know what I mean, and you know that I'd be very honest about things that you do. if that wasn't the case, I would not be endorsing it. But yeah, it's great from the content that I've seen. I think it's awesome what you're doing. And
well, what I've tried to do is, you know, I've been doing this 9 years now in London, and I had my army career before that, and I just kind of think if you can take all, you know, don't go through all the things I had to learn. Just shortcut yourself back to this is how you do it, or this is the way the best to do it. Well, why waste that time when you could just jump up here and just go and do it?
Well, that's what we are.
Lead generation sheet,
the fountain of experience and knowledge, and experience comes from failing. You know what I mean? It's...
So if you're going to learn from somebody, and don't waste your time figuring out for yourself when I've already figured it out. So there's a discount on the course.
I've done it wrong 100 times this way. I found the one time it works the right way. So then do that one time the right way.
Exactly. So if you see the link in the bio, all the details on that page. But on the 1st of June, it will be disappearing. So please get involved. Adam, that's been great. Thanks for being on. We'll catch up again the second week in June, and we'll do. We'll see what state the gyms are in. We'll see what's happening in the next 2 weeks. Seems a lot happens in 2 weeks at the moment in 2021. 2 weeks can change a lot. So we'll see what happens, and we will go through floor walking.
Cool.
Right, thanks, Adam. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in June.